The guild is like a village beside a river. They need the water, but can only dip out what they require. They cannot dam the river and control it, because that focuses attention on what they take. It brings down eventual destruction. The spice flow, that's their river, and I have built a dam. But my dam is such that you cannot destroy it without destroying the river. The Spacing Guild stands as the most influential entity within the Imperium of Dune, wielding unparalleled power and authority. Given their immense reliance on the spice melange, which is crucial for their navigators to ensure safe interstellar travel, many have wondered why the guild has not seized direct control over Arrakis, the sole source of this precious substance. The question becomes even more pertinent when considering the instability and chaos that have threatened the spice's availability. In this video, I will explore the reasons behind the Spacing Guild's decision to refrain from directly governing Arrakis, despite their vital dependence on its spice production. Without a doubt, the Spacing Guild had the resources to seize control over everything, including Arrakis. Yet their deeply ingrained culture of prioritizing safety over bold moves prevented them from taking such risks. The guild navigators, with their limited foresight, always opted for the most straightforward and least dangerous routes to avoid disastrous errors. Rather than seizing power and risking short-term instability for long-term gain, they remained ensnared in their cautious practices. This inflexible attitude ultimately led to their stagnation, as they continued to exist in a state of dependency and decline. The guild's unique role in the Imperium is due to their capability to navigate higher dimensions using the spice melange. The Bene Gesserit understood that the guild's navigators operating within these complex dimensions were acutely aware of the severe consequences of any mistakes on Arrakis, the sole source of the spice. The guild's limited foresight revealed that attempting to control Arrakis would create a critical juncture, with such high uncertainty that no stable future could be predicted. It was a challenge beyond their prescience, forcing them to remain within the safer, more predictable scope of their existing operations. Therefore, their intense aversion to risk and inability to handle the potential chaos of such a pivotal move caused them to avoid direct control of the spice. The guild is also keenly aware of the dangers tied to direct participation in spice mining. Engaging in such an endeavor would demand enormous effort and expose them to considerable risks that come from traversing the harsh environment of Arrakis and the ever-present threat of sandworms. Instead of involving themselves directly in the dangerous business of spice extraction, they prefer to capitalize on the needs of all involved parties. By maintaining a monopoly on the universe's most vital service, interstellar travel, the guild upholds a neutral stance. This strategic position allows them to avoid getting entangled in the Imperium's power struggles, thereby maximizing their influence and wealth while safeguarding their own safety and sidestepping unnecessary risks. In reality, managing the spice is an immensely difficult and intricate endeavor, rife with risks of failure and the necessity for scapegoats when things go wrong. This situation mirrors how major oil companies maneuver through intricate geopolitical landscapes in the real world. Rather than seeking direct control through military might, these corporations use financial power and political connections to protect their interests and ensure stability. A central theme in the Dune series is that the pursuit and consolidation of power often sets off a chain reaction that leads to one's downfall. Paul Atreides' rise to prominence exemplifies this, as his ascent triggers a series of catastrophic consequences. The Spacing Guild, in contrast, avoids these pitfalls by remaining aloof from direct involvement and responsibility. Their success is rooted in their strict neutrality. By staying disengaged from the political and military conflicts of the Great Houses and merely charging for their services, the Guild sidesteps the risks of taking sides. This strategy allows them to preserve their exclusive control over interstellar travel while avoiding the conflicts and rivalries that could jeopardize their dominance. Additionally, if the Spacing Guild controlled both FTL travel and the spice, they would hold an untenable amount of power, leading to constant struggles to maintain it. The Emperor and the Great Houses would never allow such a scenario to develop. They would have taken active measures to prevent the Guild from achieving that degree of dominance. If the Spacing Guild were to forsake its neutral stance, it would likely trigger a coordinated backlash from the Great Houses and the Empire. Such a move could lead to the emergence of rival groups with the potential to challenge and destabilize the Guild's control. Even without immediate threats, this shift would ignite a drive within humanity to innovate and disrupt the Guild's monopoly. By adhering to their neutral position, the Guild guarantees their indispensability to all factions, thereby maintaining their power and imperial stability. By sticking to the status quo, the Spacing Guild effectively quashes the need for innovation and exploration. By offering crucial navigation services and maintaining neutrality, they keep the other powers of the Imperium satisfied and stable, ensuring that all factions are content with the current arrangement. This strategy effectively avoids disruption and change, adhering to the principle that if something isn't broken, there's no need to fix it. In this way, the Guild sustains their monopoly and influence, allowing the Imperium to stay complacent and secure within the established order. Another factor to consider is the Guild's dependence on spice. As addicts, the Guild navigators are primarily focused on ensuring their supply of melange rather than pursuing advancements or the greater good. This addiction drives their actions towards preserving their critical resource, reinforcing their strategy of avoiding direct control and instead influencing the power dynamics from a secure distance. Additionally, the Guild operates on multiple fronts. They accept bribes from the Fremen to keep their skies free of satellites and conceal their activities, while also being reimbursed by the Imperium for their navigation services, often receiving payment in spice or its equivalent in solaris. Thus, the current state of operations benefits them as it allows them to manipulate various factions against each other. In the end, the Guild's dependence on melange had rendered them a parasitic entity, wholly incapable of existing without their precious resource. Despite their extensive history, they never dared to take the bold, if dangerous, step of seizing Arrakis. Instead, they opted for mere survival, clinging to the hope that their environment would sustain them indefinitely. This cautious strategy, designed to keep their path clear and safe, ultimately led to their stagnation. Their fatal choice to shun risks for the sake of short-term stability marked the Guild's decline, leaving them increasingly unable to adapt or thrive on their own. This vulnerability exposed them to manipulation for generations to come, as more powerful and audacious leaders emerged to seize control of the Guild and the Imperium. Through many atrocities and acts of tyranny, these leaders would steer humanity away from their collective stagnation and towards a future of innovation and exploration, which ultimately would ensure its survival. But I'm curious to know what you think of the Spacing Guild's role in the operations of the Imperium. Does it make sense to you why the Spacing Guild wouldn't opt to directly manage the affairs on Arrakis? Let me know your thoughts in the comment section below. I hope you enjoyed this video. Leave a like if you did, and be sure to subscribe for more Dune and other sci-fi and fantasy news and lore. And if you're looking for other ways to show your appreciation, you can check out my Patreon page, where members get access to exclusive content and perks. Thank you all so much for your support, and as always, have a very nerdy day.